Hello again. This is day 3 or 4 of me trying to use this wonderful dip pen. I am using nib 33 on the manuscript set. It's Leonard and Co. Birmingham. I have 5 nibs in this one. I've also went out and bought a new dip pen to see how I would go with that. Now this is, one second, this is a mapping nib and it's very small and it's reversible, so you can actually put it in here when it's not in use, and then put it in when you want to use it. The only problem with this is you can only get one nib for this, so it's only the mapping nib. I just saw it in an art shop, £2.99. I thought, yay, I'm going to try it out. I'd like to try some of the Japanese dipping pens. I've been having a look on Amazon, and I was thinking, oh, I'd like to try those, but I'm going to wait and see how I do with these first. Right, I've been playing about with Halloween. Halloween's not so big in the UK, but it is starting to get popular. So I started off doing some puddy cat pictures. Now I started off, as I normally do, with doing a few witches. Let me just see if you can see that. I'm not very good at doing people, but hey, I thought I'd have a go and did a few witches, and then I thought, no, I've got to do a cat. I've got to do a cat. So I ended up with this one. This is done, we're using pastel pencils. They're quite soft, so I've just been playing about and came up with this little creature here. So I thought, right, okay, so this is one of the cats I'm going to do, but I also need to have this pussycat sitting with something else. So I thought, right, Halloween, pumpkins. So I've been playing about with pumpkins. So this is a few of my sketches. So this is what I first started off with. This I did from my head. And then I went onto Pinterest and had a look at some more kind of bulbous, rounded, flat pumpkins. So they're quite spooky. And then I had a look at the giant pumpkins as well. So I thought these were quite interesting. So now I've decided I'm going to have a go with the dip pen and see how I go with that. Now I have just had a go at doing the dip pen and using the shading. I think I prefer using a wash to shade, so this is what I'm going to try now. Never tried it before, so it'll be very interesting. So first off, I have to do my line drawing. Now I've drawn my basic pumpkin shape, and I'm not trying to be perfect because I don't want a straight line, because from nature there is no straight lines. So, and because it's Halloween, I want it to look all gnarly and kind of irregular. I think it creates interest as well. As I've said in other videos, I quite like Arthur Rackham as an illustrator, and he's really one of my favourites. And he did a lot of gnarly trees and just kind of faces in trees and mushrooms and just all using irregular lines. Okay, so I'm going to come in and put all the lines, the gnarly lines through here. And there you go. Did a bit of shade in there, just only a little. Okay, and this twists. So I've got to get that twist in the there you go. I like the dip pen because you can get some really good detail in, and it's not perfect, and it's not, and you get a really good black, full black line, which I find with the technical pens, they're not great, and they stop midway, and I just think, nah, I like the dip pen, and it's something that I'm gonna keep on having a go at and get better at. It takes a while to, with everything, you have to bear with it and practice. And if you sometimes you can have a bad day where you think, oh, this is not working, I should give up. Well, no, I'm not going to give up. It's not going to beat me. I am going to master this. You know, it's something that I am really enjoying doing. Now I am also making products as well with my illustrations, so I'm not just drawing, and you know, I'm making other bits and pieces as well that I can sell alongside my prints, because not everyone wants a print. Maybe they want a notebook, maybe they want something else. So at the moment I'm playing about with doing like little notebooks with my character on, so that's one thing that I'm making at the moment. I'm doing some sewn bits as well, which I haven't got with me at the moment, but I'm doing lampshades, I'm doing loads of different things. So I'm just coming in with some lines here, you know, and obviously you're going to get imperfections in pumpkins, and I like to show imperfections on things because it's boring just having a normal kind of pumpkin, a round pumpkin with nothing on it, because you're rarely going to find one like that. Now, I'm not trying to be too perfect with this. Now, bear with me 1 minute, I'm going to show you an Arthur Rackham because you need to see it. I've been banging on about Arthur Rackhams for too long, and it needs to be seen. Now, this is from a first edition. The book was falling apart, so we decided to just take all the prints out, and we're going to mount them. So this is an Arthur Rackham. Now this is 1910, I think. Now if you can see here, he's not trying to be perfect. He's very detailed and he loves his cross hatching. He brings in bits of watercolour, bits of just very light hints of colour, and he's using the line to make up the trees, and they're very wispy, and you can see all the the lines, dark lines, thin lines. I love him. I think he's amazing. So this is an Arthur Rackham. I do recommend you look at the other pictures. His work with Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens he did was amazing, and I could sit there for hours and just look at his work. But anyway, that's an Arthur Rackham. Okay, I wish I was as good as him. Believe me, I'd be a very happy person. Okay, I'm coming in. As you can see, I love this pen so much. I definitely recommend you have a go. It may not be for you, the dip pen, but you never know, it could be. And it could open up a lot more possibilities with your artwork. They're not expensive either, I have to say. I was quite impressed about how cheap they were compared to having to keep on buying normal pens. Nibs can last up to 2 years, and you can buy packs of them. And they're not that expensive. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of building up the lines. I'm not looking at a picture. I'm doing it from my head. It's quite fun just to let your imagination just run riot. You don't have to be perfect. Like this. Now I'm going back into different places just to see I'm just looking at the overall effect that I'm getting, and then I'll go back to some other part of the sketch. You know, sometimes you have to sit back and think, oh, actually that needs work on that side and this needs work on that side. So I'm being very now I'm very new to, as you know, I'm very new to illustration. So all this is kind of experimenting. I've not studied illustration. Wish I had. So if there's any other illustrators out there that can give me tips, that if I'm doing anything wrong, I would be very, very, very grateful. I take criticism very well. I use it as a development opportunity rather than something that's a negative. Okay, so just trying to get a bit of depth in there. Right, I'm gonna come in now with a bit of with a brush to see how that bit there might need a bit of. Yeah, I love doing this. Better than working in an office, isn't it? There you go. Right. So I'm going to wash my nib out, which you should always do. You should also have a tissue with you as well, but I've lost mine somewhere. jogged on somewhere else, so I will leave that for now and I'll come back and wash that, I cannot forget. Okay, so I'm going to go and grab a brush. Now this is the first time I've tried this, so I'm going to have a go. I'm going to put my brush in the water and then come in and into the ink, and then I've brought this out and seeing how this works with doing a ooh, it's interesting. I don't know how long this actually takes to dry as well, so I don't know how much time I've got to move the ink. I don't think I have a lot of time. Coming a bit dark there. Maybe I need to get a palette that I can have. Oh, I've gone a bit dark. I've gone a bit darker than I wanted to. I don't have a lot of time to. Said this is all experimentation. It's something that now I love watercolour, so I thought this might be a better way of using the ink like watercolour and come in and play. Obviously my light source is coming this way. Hopefully that you're not saying this is a disaster, but yeah, it's as I said, it's trial and error. I've just got to remember next time that it's got to be quite watered down. As I said, I'm just playing at the moment, as long as I can see the lines that I had, and I probably could actually go over the top with more line. I will try that in a minute. I hope you're still with me with this, because this is quite a longer video than I'm used to doing. It makes you kind of, you know, with people who used to use dip pen for illustration in the Victorian era. They didn't have these fancy pens, and you know, this was their medium, and they had to master it. So this is my first time doing this. I'm being quite loose with the brush. I'm just treating it as like a normal sphere and just kind of getting lighter as I go. Now, as you can see, my video is where I'm actually filming is a lot lighter than I usually do. I now moved my bits and pieces into the conservatory, so I've got more room, and I have a really good light source. So I'm finding brilliant, actually. So I'm hoping you can see better than my other videos I've done previously. Well, this is my first try, and I think I'm going to have to keep on trying, and hopefully I will get better as I move on and do other things. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get a palette that I can actually mix the water and the ink, because this is not... At the moment I'm using a curry pot that you get in the takeaways. Not a good piece of kit really, doesn't really... I'm trying to use up all my plastics and being good. Well, there's my first attempt. I'm just going to have a go at trying to go over some of my lines and see how it will fare. Actually, I really like the washes. You can go back over and darken them up. Obviously there's bits where it's still wet, so you're going to get a get a smudgy line, but that's quite nice actually. It kind of disperses the ink a bit, and I quite like that. Just gives it a bit more interest. So, definitely have a go at this. I thoroughly recommend it, and I'm going to continue on having another go and crack on with this. You can find the finish articles on Instagram. I'm always posting on there, and I'm grateful for everyone who's following me. It's I'm new to all of this, and it's nice to see that other people are liking what I'm doing, and I like following other people, seeing what they're doing as well. And I'm glad that you're following me on my journey. Okay then, well, lovely to have you watch me, and I will see you on my next video. Okay then, bye.